Hello there, my fellow patriots. How are we doing today? Today is April 21st, 2020. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. If you're live with me, great. We're going to open up for questions and discussion here in a little bit. Until then, thanks for joining me. Those of you who will listen later, thank you for joining us. Glad to have you here. Today we're going to talk about some 2A stuff. I had posted this post about some new House bills a little while back, and there we go. Let's get my little mug up here. So I had posted a week ago or so and said that we would have some discussion. We would open these bills up later. I think I was a post I shared, and I said that I hadn't opened it yet, but we will open it later and see what's in there. So today I have done that, and we have a lot going on. Not a lot that I think we need to worry about at this point, but there is some things that we do need to worry about, and that is on the state, and the federal level, how important it is to get out and vote. Now, this first article I'm going to pull up is about Virginia, and I specifically remembering listening to President Trump tell Virginians that they needed to get out and vote. Well, apparently the wrong people listened. The governor of Virginia, man, he is anti-America, anti-your freedoms, anti-Constitution. Let's pull up this article and let's just get right into this. Those who are late will come on a little bit later, I'm assuming. RC, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me. Let's look at this real quick. All this anti-gun stuff, it's all we're going to talk about tonight. It's anti-gun stuff because there's a ton of it. And I only went back to the first of the year. There's still tons of anti-gun legislation sitting there that's probably going to go nowhere. Now, most of these that we're going to talk about tonight probably are going to go nowhere unless the Senate gets flipped. They will never make it through the Senate. They're sitting dead right now. But let's talk about them because it's important. And it'll, if nothing else, it'll kick you in the butt and get you out to vote. That's where you need to be, out voting when it's time to do that. If you do not, you get stuck with stuff like Virginia did, and you get this guy right here, Ralphie Northam, Blackface Northam, as a governor, and he signs into gun control measures he's been pushing since gaining the office. So ever since he got elected, he has been pushing gun control. Virginia Governor Ralph Northam signed a slate of anti-gun bills last week. What's the date on this? The date on this is April 14th, 2020. It comes out of Guns America Digest. The links are in the posts. So, anti-gun bills last week, finalizing an array of measures pushed by control lobbyists and Democratic legislatures. Who else wants all these gun controls? It certainly isn't the pro-America folks. It is the anti-America, anti-freedom, pro-socialism, pro-communist, pro ruin your life people. That's who are for these things. It's not certainly the patriotic Americans like myself. Northam vowed when Democrats took control of the state legislature in 2019 to sign any gun control bills that came across his desk and he made good on his promise. He is pushing them through. This is an exciting day for me, Northam said on a conference call with gun control advocates. Man, the dude gets all excited about signing gun control measures to limit your rights, to take your rights away. Most of the bills the governor signed will take effect July 1, 2020. So in July, Virginia is going to become more tied. Their hands are going to become more tied when it comes to their gun law stuff. Now, I don't have them and I haven't got into them, so I'm not sure what they all are, but some of the bullet points here are universal background checks on bona fide private sales of firearms. How they're going to control that, I don't know. Red flag law. This is one that we all should be concerned about. Extreme risk protection order law with some additional protections. So all somebody has to do is call up somebody in your family, call up and say that you're a nut, and they can come and take your guns away. We need to stay away from red flag gun laws. 1 handgun a month for those without a concealed handgun permit. Oh man. Virginia let this guy get into office. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with him. Reporting lost or stolen firearms within 48 hours. That's just common sense there. Increase in penalty for someone under 14 years old getting reckless with a firearm becomes a class 1 misdemeanor. Okay. And listen to this. The North Face, Blackface Northam, admits to retaliating against sheriffs who supported the sanctuary movement. So, if the sheriffs decided to uphold the Constitution, he retaliated against them. Anti-gun activists hope that their successful efforts in Virginia can be a blueprint for other states. And it's moving across the country, you guys. I hope with the things that are taking place with the invisible enemy and the virus and everything right now, that things will certainly take a turn. But I'll tell you what, it's happening. And Virginia is leading the way. Well, New York, Cuomo, whatever his name is also attacking Second Amendment right now. Why do they want Second Amendment so bad? It's got to cause you to sit back and think, hey, Joe, it's got to cause you to sit back and think, why are they so after our guns? You know why? Because you're nothing without them. As long as we have our guns, we can protect our rights. Once they take them all away, they'll lead you into the pits. They don't want all of us here anyway. Okay, that's all I'm going to go into that. Let's go to this one. All right. This is some more Ralph Northam stuff. The reason I'm showing this is it just drives home the fact how important it is to get out and get your voting done. People sit back and they say, oh, my vote doesn't count. Well, yeah, it does, and how many Virginia people sat back and said the same thing, and they ended up with this guy, and this guy's just stripping them of their rights one by one. And he's really, really tackling hard on the Second Amendment. He's part of the virus. He's part of the sickness. He's part of the evil that has been lurking in the background in our country for so many years. The evil and they want to destroy us. They want a one world government. They want a new world, a one world order. They just want total government dependence from us, and there's nothing we can do about it. There was a part in here I wanted to comment on. Virginia was once a socially conservative state where lawmakers in both parties viewed gun rights as sacrosanct, and the National Rifle Association held great sway. But as the state has grown more urban and suburban, the gun lobby's influence has waned. A mass shooting last year in Virginia Beach made gun control a front-burning issue in Virginia, and heavy spending by groups backed by former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg helped Democrats flip control of the legislature in November. Virginia's stuck with a Democratic legislature. Gun control advocates said Friday they're planning to replicate their success in Virginia in other states. John Feinblatt, president of Everytown for Gun Safety, said his group plans to spend heavily in key battleground states this year like Arizona, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania to elect lawmakers who support gun restrictions. Folks, this ought to be very alarming to you. They have an agenda, they have a plan, and you're not part of it. You are not part of it. I am not part of it. Let's go over here. Let's look at these guns. Let's look at these on the federal level. So the HR 5717 is one that I posted in my Facebook page a week or so ago, and so we're going to pull it up and look at it first. Let's just take a quick look at it, because my thoughts are that it's not going to go. In fact, I know it won't go through the Senate. So we've got to keep the Senate strong, you guys. It is so important to get out there on the state level and elect your representatives very, very wisely. Local and state level, but more than ever on your state level and then on the federal level as well. It is, our lives depend on it, because we've got to keep control. Right now we have control, not by far, of the Senate. We've got to get the House back, and we've got to keep America free, and it's up to us. We've got to get out there and vote. I can't say that enough. Let me show you why. Let's go right over here to details. This bill, Gun Violence Prevention and Community Safety Act of 2020, this bill has 18 co-sponsors, and they're all Democrat. Imagine that. Why do the Democrats want our damn guns so bad? It's got to cause you to sit back and say, what in the hell? Why? And then analyze, do some research, figure it out. There's a reason why they want your guns. Let's just go down through here. I'm not going to name them all and stuff. There's 18 co-sponsors. They're all Democrat. I'm going to read the states. Pay attention, because you'll see a commonality here. Maryland, Massachusetts, Illinois, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Illinois, Massachusetts, New York, and Colorado. Those are your Democratic co-sponsors on this anti-gun bill that's in the House right now. 5717, HR 5717. Let's go back to the summary. Let's see what it's about. This bill makes various changes to the federal framework governing the sale, transfer, and possession of firearms and ammunition, among other things. The bill does the following, and this is just a generalization. If you want to read it, it's in there, and you can go through it in its entirety because it'll have a lot more detail than what this synopsis gives us. But here we go. Generally requires individuals to obtain a license to purchase, acquire, or possess a firearm or ammunition. Raises the minimum age from 18 to 21 to purchase firearms and ammunition. Establishes new background check requirements for firearm transfers between private parties. Requires law enforcement agencies to be notified following a firearm-related background check that results in a denial. Creates a statutory process for a family or household member to petition the court for an extreme risk protection order to remove firearms from an individual who possess a risk of committing violence. Restricts the import, sale, manufacture, transfer, or possession of semi-automatic assault weapons and large capacity ammunition feeding devices. Restricts the manufacture, sale, transfer, purchase, or receipt of ghost guns, guns without serial numbers, making trafficking in firearms a standalone criminal offense. Requires federally licensed gun dealers to submit and annually certify compliance with a security plan to detect and deter firearm theft. Removes limitations on the civil liability of gun manufacturers. Allows the Consumer Product Safety Commission to issue safety standards for firearms and firearm components. Establishes a community violence intervention grant program and promotes research on firearm safety and gun violence prevention. Right here, removes civil liability on gun manufacturers. So if Billy Bob goes out and kills somebody and Remington made that gun, they can come back to Remington? How freaking stupid is that? Remington has nothing to do with it, or any of the others. I'm just using that one as an example. What that's going to do is cease. These guys are going to cease making guns. That's what they want. They don't want the guns. Guns make us free. There was another part up here I wanted to pick out. What was it? It was semi-automatic weapons and large capacity ammunition feeding devices. So we can't possess any semi-automatic weapons anymore. Large capacity magazines have been gone for a long time. You go buy a pistol now, it holds 10. They used to hold 15 or 18 or 17, depending on what you got. But yeah. This stuff should scare the shit right out of you. It should scare you right into the voting polls. For those of you who don't vote, it is time to get out there and vote. Hey, Pepe the frog. This is silly. So let's see right here. 18 to 21 years to purchase firearms and ammunition. How crazy is that? They can go to war at 18, but they can't buy a gun? Come on. Yeah. So that is H.R. 5717. And it is, let's look where it is. It was introduced on January 30th, 2020. It has a 20% chance by the critics, chance of being passed. It's not going to pass. As you see, if we go back here to the details, it's all Democrat. It's all Democrats. Then if you click on text, you can read the whole daggone thing in its entirety, and it is long. I don't even know how many pages this one is. I didn't go through it all. I don't want to. I'm not going to. So there's HR 5717 for you. Like I said, it is sitting dead right now, and I don't think you'll see it go anymore. If it passed the committee, you'd see all of this stuff being filled in. And it's not. It was introduced, and that was it. So I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, but I've set it for updates. So if there's a change on it, I will see those, and I will certainly share them with you. Now, let's go to this other one. There's a bunch. I'm going to do, I think, 4 of them I selected out that we're going to kind of cover tonight, and then the rest we'll just leave for now. This one, Elizabeth Warren, S3254, Gun Violence Prevention and Community Safety Act of 2020, a bill to end the epidemic of gun violence and build safer communities by strengthening federal firearms laws and supporting gun violence research, intervention, and prevention initiatives. So I'm gonna 3%. Look at that, 3% chance of being enacted. It's dead as well. It was introduced on February 5th, 2020. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this, but the epidemic of gun violence, Have you noticed something lately? Have you ever wondered where the gun violence comes from? Have you ever wondered? Have you? If you haven't, sit back and think about it. It's not random. It is not random. It is pushing an agenda. And if someone is willing to kill other human beings to get their way, to push their agenda, I don't think evil gets any more evil. I don't think it gets any more evil than that, other than crimes against children, which this same group does that as well. Epidemic of gun violence. Let's look at this one real quick. It's not going anywhere, 3% chance, but I mean, again, co-sponsors, Democrat, New Jersey, Massachusetts, New Jersey. You see a common thing here with all these gun laws. It's not Wyoming and Utah and Republicans and Arizona and New Mexico and Texas. Look at the states whose representatives are pushing gun confiscation, who's pushing gun bans so strongly. If you live in one of those states, you can see how important it is to get out and get these people voted out. They have no business controlling your destiny. Let's look at the next one. So I guess I didn't really say what that one was about. It don't have a summary, and I don't want to get into it, but they're all posted here for you guys. If you want to look them up, by all means, please do. I'm pulling up the next one here. Let's put it right there and go to it. Safe Gun Storage Act of 2019. This one was late 19, December 17th, 2019. 3% chance, again, of going anywhere. We do need full auto and burst, Pepe. Yeah, no doubt about that. I used to have one when I was a legal person to carry one, but yeah, they're the way to go. Now, let's go back here. Let's look at the summary of this one. This one just talks about storing your firearm and being liable if something happens with your firearm. I'm not against gun storage, but let's just look at this. 20 co-sponsors, all Democrat. Wisconsin, New Jersey, Ohio, Delaware, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Illinois, New York, California, Minnesota, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Connecticut, Washington, Rhode Island, New Mexico, Maryland, Massachusetts, Oregon. There, I named New Mexico, and there's a New Mexico one in there and a Pennsylvania one. Democrats. The Democrats want your guns. There is no ifs, ands, no nothing about it. They want your guns. They are led by the people who hold the strings. Therefore, they do what they're told. They don't think for themselves. You have to think for yourself. One more. HR 4691. Introduced by Elliot Engel, New York, Democrat, October 16, 2019. Let's look. Summary. What's it about? Oh, Safe Gun Storage Act. It is a duplicate of the other one. I remember that now because when I was reviewing them. It is a duplicate, so there's two bills for the same. And I don't know why they do that. I'm not sure about that. Dang it. It won't let me look at it. Okay, I was going to try to... Oh, there we go. We were being blocked for a minute, but we got unblocked. 28 Democrat sponsors on this one. Washington, Florida, Texas, Colorado, Maryland, Ohio, New York, Florida, California, PA, New York, Massachusetts, Florida, Illinois, California, Arizona, California, Pennsylvania, California, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Washington, Massachusetts, all Democrats. If any of you live in any of those states, man, oh man, you guys, it's important you can see how important it is to get out and vote if you value your rights and your freedom. These people want to take your freedom away. They want to take your rights away. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no question about it. They're not shy about it. They want your rights, and they're coming after them. They're coming after you. Right now, President Trump stands in the way. Like I said a few minutes ago, when all this virus and the invisible virus and all this stuff kind of subsides, I really, really, really hope that we are headed in a different direction. I got faith that we will be. I got faith that the evil will be, you'll never remove all the evil, but it'll be moved aside. And our freedoms can come back to us. We've lost so many over the years already. And I mean, it's been going on for 100 years. They've been whittling at us. And the plan was almost, I mean, you and I were going to live. We were going to see or fight for our rights because they were going to go away in our lifetime. And all that plan, some people have gotten in the way of their plan. They still try like hell. They're still trying. They're still after our president. They're still after us. We've got them at bay. We need to keep them that way. And you guys, again, I mean, this is a voter's sales pitch. Get out and vote. It is important to get out there and let your voice be heard. We need 4 more years of Trump. We need to get this invisible enemy further destroyed and put to rest. We need, It's important. I can't stress it enough, you guys. I can't. So it's important. And like I said, on your state and local level, you think, oh, it's just a state rep. Those state reps are the ones sitting in Washington taking away your gun rights. It is important who you get in there. And if you don't go let your voice be heard, you're going to get who you get, like Virginia did, like New York, California. There's a lot of states that are not in a good position as far as being free and having their rights. Michigan, my gosh, look what's going on in Michigan right now. They can't even go buy seeds and dirt to plant shit in their garden with. She is plumb off her freaking rocker. That woman is gone. She is lost. How she got in there? Ooh. Well, I guess same way. I forgot about her, but it's probably the same way old Northam got in. Cuomo. Yeah. Well, that's the end of the show. I told you guys when I posted that a week ago or so that we would unpack it and go through it a little bit. They're after us every day. They're after us, after you. They're not giving up. They're vicious, man. And they've already silenced our voice through social media, right? All of the news outlets were dirty. You didn't know what they were telling you, you know. None of it was true. And so you try to speak out against them on social media and they block you, ban you, throw you in Facebook jail. You don't think your rights are being picked away? They are. They are. Slowly, one by one. First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, due process, self-incrimination, all of that, all of those rights have been whittled and whittled and whittled. Just ask these people that are sitting in prison for no reason because they spoke out against the establishment. Be well, folks. Pray hard for your country. Pray for the world. This invisible enemy is strong and smart, but we are stronger and smarter. We will win. Together, we will win. United we stand, right? Where we go one, we go all. Stay safe out there. Stay healthy. And stay educated. Get out there and educate yourself on current issues. It's important to know what is going on behind the scenes while you're distracted with COVID-19, with the China flu. While you're being distracted with that, what's going on in the back? Something is. Be well, friends. Peace.